We agreed an interest rate fixed for the term, and the interest rate being charged on the property is not as per the fixed rate. My argument is that the debt outstanding is incorrect because the interest accrued on the debt is accruing at an incorrect rate. But when I say that to the judge, they say something else, and the judge, because I'm acting as a lay litigant, effectively ignores it and sides with the big swinging. This isn't about whether we can make any payments. We've offered to make lump sums, we've offered to make small sums. They will not take. They'll take it if I walk into the court and hand them the money, but they won't agree to the offer in writing. So why would I give someone 10 grand in cash if they haven't agreed in writing as a receipt that they're giving me the 10 grand? Why would I? No one in this country or the world would do that. This house is not mine. As a parent, I bought this house for my children as an investment. So they're evicting my children. They're not evicting me. My personal feeling, and the guys are aware of it, is that the reason they won't talk to me is that I was executive manager of operations, and as in my capacity as executive manager of operations, I was made redundant for reasons that I won't go into, and they're not reasons that were personal for me, but they were decisions the bank made in relation to strategy, and they just won't engage me. And to me, I'm not saying it is, but my personal opinion is it must be personal, because they won't speak to me. Must be. There's no other reason. We had an independent valuation of the house, and it's 420, 425.
Right, yeah.
And we only owe 300. A serviceable debt. And that's basically it. There's nothing more to add. The only reason I'm in this position is the bank have not sat round the table to talk to me. Ever. And anybody in the last 5 years that I've seen from the bank is either a barrister or a solicitor. I've not seen any bank official, unless they're sitting beside the barrister in the forecourts.
Okay. And how did this come about today? What were you,
basically
did
got
they call
phone.
You or
No, just got a telephone call to say he was going ahead with a possession order. That's it, really.
And it's obviously
and he asked me then to move my wife and children out of the house because it could turn nasty. That was his exact words.
This is the sheriff.
Yeah. The people that are here today are here because of word of mouth, and they're here to support me. All we can say is thanks a million.
Yeah.
Absolutely thanks a million. And people like Matty McGrath, only for Jerry yesterday bringing Matty into it, Matty wouldn't know the story. But Matty knows, and Jerry knows, by Jerry looking at my file yesterday, the bank have not engaged me. Simple as. That's it.
It's just disgraceful, and we await developments.
Matty sent an email to the county registry yesterday evening, sent an email this morning. It hasn't been replied to. The local and they've been read. The local Garda superintendent was emailed twice. He hasn't responded. But what was interesting was at 1 o'clock the guards were pulled out of here. So the guards were here since 6 this morning. So the big test is on this section 133. What's going to happen? It says clear as day. I think. We have it. Some of the lads have it there.
And it's relatively plain English.
And it says the section 133 says the power of the sheriff or other persons entitled to exercise the sheriff's powers to seize a tenancy under a writ of ferefecia or other process of execution is abolished. It can't be clearer. Except in relation to a tenancy of land that is used wholly or partly for the purpose of carrying on a business. This is a family home, it's not a business. The only thing the sheriff can seize is a business or land that's part of a business. He can't seize family homes. So the question has to be asked is, what has he been doing? Like up in County Meath, the sheriff last week was stopped again by a lot of the people that are here today, and no paperwork was produced. And what has actually led us to understand the process is we stopped an auction in Galway last year, and we got the person to do a data protection request, and in it came the Galway County Register's notice of her instructions to the sheriff, and that's when we realised that the county register is instructing the sheriff illegally, because the county register. So the question and Matty has written to the secretary of the County Registers Association, who's the register in Dundalk, and we haven't got a response back, is we wrote to them because she represents all registers in the country. How are they issuing instructions to sheriffs who have no power? Their power is abolished. So it can't be any clearer. But like, we've been at this for 12 months, and just in relation to the auction we stopped in Galway last year, that property was put up for sale in London yesterday by Savills and was withdrawn yesterday evening after we sent a few letters and protests to Savills. That they offered it in London for I think 45,000 sterling, but withdrew it from the auction. It was a lot of 170 or 171 in London.
The one with disabled children.
This man has a child, special needs child, family home, and again, when examined, that man surrendered the house. It wasn't repossessed because the bank came down and the sheriff and the guards, and he was afraid of having a scene in front of his neighbours. So what's been happening is kids and handing over the keys of the house, the same as would have happened here today if all the people didn't turn up to do what has to be done. So the question is for the government is, what is going on? The government is telling the banks that yes, they can repossess property, but the government hasn't given them the law to do it. So,
and Mrs. Justice Dunn, in fairness, I think it was the judge.
Justice Dunn was the judge that made the orders in this case.
But she did make a Dunn ruling. You're all aware of that, and the Dáil changed that last year.
But they didn't change this part of the law.
No, they called it the Land Conveyancing Act. I described it as the eviction bill. The government, the banks, obviously got onto the government to change this ruling and to provide legislation to get over Justice Dunn's. So it's all one-way traffic.
Okay, well, we'll come back out to you shortly and let you know what happens when Matty rings. We're going to ring the sheriff. And
Well done.
Well done, John.